Hello and welcome to English Parliamentary News. I'm Rizky Hawadi. In this edition, we will present all the latest and interesting information around the House of Representatives of the Republic of Indonesia. Vice Speaker for Politics and Security of the House, Fadlizon, urges the Ministry of Justice and Human Rights to do a comprehensive evaluation towards the management of correctional facility or prisons, following the prisoner escape incident in several prisons. Met after speaking at a public lecture in Cirebon, West Java, Fadlizon regrets hundreds of prisoner escaping incident which occurred in Sialang Bungkuk Prison, Pekanbaru. In this case, the Ministry of Justice and Human Rights deemed as unsuccessful in managing prisons across Indonesia. According to Fadli, the main problem is the imbalance between the capacity and the amount of inmates held in the prisons.
Satu presiden yang sangat buruk ya, bagaimana ada tahanan dengan jumlah ratusan itu bisa kabur dan kemudian bisa terjadi insiden seperti ini di negara dalam suasana seperti sekarang ini ya, tentu sangat memprihatinkan. Ini seperti cerita-cerita zaman dulu di film-film gitu ya.
Fadlizon also highlights the lack of food and clean water issue in the prisons, where according to him, the inmates also have the right to be treated well and to get training opportunities. Thus, the inhuman treatments towards them become the main reason for the prisoners to escape from the prisons.
Saya kira banyak kelemahan ini di lapas-lapas sekarang ini. Kan ini wilayah pembinaan. Kadang-kadang yang kita dengar makanan kurang, kadang-kadang air kurang katanya ya, seperti itu. Jadi kurang memanusiakan itu juga membuat mereka itu jadi tidak menjadi dibina, tapi malah jadi berusaha untuk survive dan sebagainya. Saya kira ini harus ada.
From West Java, Fuad Bani and Septia, TVR Parliament report. Commission 10 of the House demand the central government to give their support to South Sumatra government in the preparation of the upcoming 2018 Asian Games, especially in the case of budget availability for the construction of sport branch venue. In the series of working visit of Commission 10 of the House to South Sumatra Province, which attended to monitor the preparation of 2018 Asian Games by the regional government of South Sumatra, Vice Chairman of Commission 10 of the House, Ferdiansah, says the ongoing court and venue renovation of several sport branches in Jakabaring Stadium targeted to be finished in early 2018. Ferdiansah asserted that full support from central government is necessary, so the South Sumatra government will be able to finish the venue construction on time. The support that mentioned includes such as funding support that will help the process of rehabilitation and venue construction for several sport branches.
Untuk tempat-tempat venue yang di 8 cabur tersebut dan 3 cabur yang non-olimpik, nampaknya itu bisa diselesaikan rata-rata pada awal tahun yang akan datang, tahun 2018, dan bisa dilakukan test event.
Meanwhile, the member of Commission 10 of the House, Yayuk Basuki, stated there are still a lot of complaints regarding the venue preparation of sport branch. Therefore, Yayuk demands the central government to give more attention, especially in terms of funding support for both rehabilitation and the construction of courts and venues. This support, according to Yayuk, expected to optimize the preparation of 2018 Asian Games in South Sumatra Province.
Secara keseluruhan lagi kalau kita lihat venue-venuenya sendiri ya, ada juga seperti keluhan kemarin sebetulnya ada beberapa yang perlu dukungan dana lebih banyak lagi.
From South Sumatra, Ridwan and Septia, TVR Parliament report. Commission 6 of the House urges state-owned banks in Gorontalo to maximize the socialization of government-backed microloan program, or KUR, so that small and medium enterprises, or known as UMKM, can recognize the existence and benefit of the program. In the series of working visit of Commission 6 of the House to Gorontalo, the House committed to perform the supervision function. The House committed to perform the supervision function towards small and medium enterprises as well as the distribution of microloan program or KUR to the entrepreneurs in the province. The group led by Azam Asman Natawijana directly observed several UMKM in various districts of Gorontalo. In this opportunity, Azam says the government has to work hard in socializing government-backed microloan program since there are still many people who do not understand the program, as well as the availability of KUR and the process of credit application. Furthermore, Azam expects small and medium enterprises program to develop where they are expected to be more creative and innovative as well as implementing packaging standards to their products in order to attract customers' interest and be able to compete with established products from big corporation.
Para mantri-mantri di perbankan harus aktif turun ke daerah, turun kepada yang meminta KUR dan melihat usahanya ada. Sebab dijamin bahwa yang 25 juta itu usahanya ada, yang di atas 25 juta itu pun usahanya harus ada. Jangan hanya tidak ada tapi diberi KUR. Dan ini merugikan negara dan merugikan dirinya sendiri.
Meanwhile, the member of Commission 6 of the House, Siti Mukaromah, argued that state-owned banks which partnering with small and medium entrepreneurs should be able to make a proactive efforts in order to educate them about KUR funds. Siti hopes that there are no discrimination of KUR allocation in each area. Siti Mukaromah also pushed the government to simplify the process of microloan application process so the program will be able to improve the current economic growth and give positive impact to the Indonesian people.
Saya rasa untuk sosialisasi masih agak kurang ya. Karena kayak tadi misalnya bahwa KUR ini kan diluncurkan pada tahun 2007. Tapi bahkan ada yang baru 3 tahun yang belakangan ini mereka baru tahu. Nah artinya ini sosialisasinya itu masih sangat membutuhkan optimal, lebih maksimal. Dan ini butuh proaktif dari pihak perbankan yang memang mempunyai wewenang untuk memberikan KUR.
From Gorontalo, Rohim Nugraha and Septia Chaniago, TVR Parliament Report. Commission 11 of the House demand the government to rearrange the government's microloan fund scheme, or KUR, in West Sumatra Province, where the House sees that the funds will be more efficient if prioritized to the productive sector, especially in agriculture sector. Speaking after the working visit of Commission 11 of the House to West Sumatra recently, the member of the Commission 11 of the House, Andreas Edi Susetio, deplores the fact that microloan funds, or KUR, are not distributed to the right targets such as service and trading sectors. Andrea hopes that 50% of government microloan funds, or KUR, can be distributed to productive sectors such as agriculture, fisheries, and manufacturers industries. And 30% of the KUR funds should be prioritized to agriculture sector.
Pemberian KUR kalau kita lihat di Sumatera Barat termasuk 10 daerah yang tertinggi. Tapi alokasinya yang lebih banyak di sektor jasa dan perdagangan 62%. Nah inilah yang harus bergeser karena mesin pertumbuhan yang utama kan pertanian. Jadi seharusnya sesuai dengan arah dari pemerintah, harusnya sektor pertanian itu minimal 40%.
In line with Andrea's statement, the member of Commission 11 of the House, Elviana, says by prioritizing KUR credit program to productive sectors such as agriculture, tourism, and infrastructure, this is expected to stimulate a high-quality real sector growth. She further adds, if the funds distributed effectively, it can maneuver the people economy that would later boost national economic growth and improve an even development.
Padang ini banyak juga pedagang. KUR itu sebenarnya tidak hanya untuk pedagang, tapi juga untuk petani dan nelayan. Tetapi dalam hampir semua provinsi, daya serap KUR itu memang mayoritas kepada pedagang. Sehingga kami mengusulkan ganti aja namanya dengan Koperasi Usaha Pedagang.
From West Sumatra Province, Sanika Sembiring and Ferdian, TVR Parliament Report. Vice Speaker for People's Welfare, Fahri Hamzah, stated that Indonesia as a maritime country need to have a law that can rules about water management, such as clean water, raw water, and water supply management, since water resources are essential elements in human life. Vice Speaker for People's Welfare, Fahri Hamzah, stated that Indonesia as maritime country requires a law regarding water management, since water is one of the important substance and required by all humans. This is related to the 1945 Constitution Article 33, which can be used as legal base for water regulation making, where it stated that every water and natural resources contained in Indonesian land is commenced by the country and for the people's prosperity. Fahri explains, to realize a regulation regarding water management, a good coordination is needed between the government, parliament, and the citizens of Indonesia. Therefore, Fahri sees that a prior discussion is needed regarding this regulation.
Dan kita makanya di Orkestra juga menginisiasi diskusi agar ini bisa menjadi elaborasi yang lebih baik. Karena apapun begitu kita regulasi secara baik, tentu efeknya kepada sektor itu juga baik. Ya, supaya kita bisa mengatasi pencemaran, kita mengatasi menyusutnya air tanah, supaya kita bisa menghadapi bahkan konsepsi negara maritim itu mesti ditopang oleh undang-undang air yang baik.
Fahri further explains currently the national water condition has been suffering from exploitation caused by the high demand of water and followed by the lack of water supply management regulation. Therefore, Fahri hopes that the regulation regarding water management can be soon realized and thus improve the water condition for a better future. Fahri also expects the law on water could later overcome water population and land disaster problems by giving some punishment to the people who harm the water itself.
Ya, karena regulasinya nggak ada, maka eksploitasinya tidak terbatas. Ya, dan ini yang berbahaya sekali. Karena itulah kita perlu menghadirkan satu regulasi yang baik di masa depan.
Fitian Temi and Ferdian, TVR Parliament, report. Members of Commission 5 of the House demand the central government to immediately allocate some part from national budget funds that will be used for infrastructure construction as the preparation effort of 2020 National Sport Week, or PON, that will be held in Papua. Speaking at the recent working visit to Haltikam Bridge, Jayapura, Papua, Vice Chairman of Commission 5 of the House, Michael Watimena, says in order to face the 20th National Sports Week, or PON, both Papua's regional government and the central government should form a good coordination, especially in infrastructure constructions, such as road and sport venues that include stadiums and athletes' dorms. Therefore, Michael expects the development of infrastructure in Papua can be completed immediately, especially the ones that using national budgets such as the construction of soccer stadium, roads, and dorms.
Sarana penunjang yang harus dilengkapi oleh APBN, misalnya soal jalan, misalnya soal air bersih, misalnya soal normalisasi kali, misalnya soal rusun yang akan dibangun dalam kaitan dengan akomodasi daripada peserta PON itu sendiri.
The same opinion stated by the member of Commission 5 of the House, Sahat Silaban, who encourages the central government to immediately allocate the national budget to build 6,000 rooms of the athletes' dorm from a total 9,000 rooms, since the other 3,000 rooms are already built by using regional budget. Sahat also calls the central government to provide assistance to Papua's regional government in providing clean water by building water supply infrastructure, so the water availability during the event can be guaranteed.
Masalah sumber air, sungai maupun juga air baku, di mana balai kita yang ada di sini sudah mulai bikin perencanaan tentang kebutuhan air.
Meanwhile, to anticipate 2020 National Sports Week, the member of Commission 5 of the House, Bahrum Daido, regrets the ongoing land dispute problems faced by Satani Airport. Therefore, he demands the Papua's government to immediately solve these land dispute problems. Bahrum also explains if the Santani Airport problems cannot be solved, the Ministry of Transportation will face problems, especially in airport management during the 2020 PON event. Moreover, Bahrum reminded the regional government that they still has 165 hectares that should be free to make a runway.
Bandara Sentani yang ada di Jayapura ini menjadi masalah besar karena sering dituntut oleh masyarakat mengenai hak ulayat. Jadi
Bandara ini adalah merupakan milik dari masyarakat Papua. Tetapi dalam hal ini Kementerian Perhubungan kurang tenang dalam mengelola karena sering dituntut oleh rakyat mengenai hak.
From Jayapura, Papua, Habibie Mahabah and Ferdian, TVR Parliament Report. And that rounds up this edition of English Parliamentary News. On behalf of all the crew of TVR Parliament, we would like to thank you for your attention, and we will meet again in the next edition of English Parliamentary News. From me, Rizky Awadi, once again, thanks for watching and goodbye.